This is John D'Agostino with D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm, and I'm proud to be a sponsor and partner of WABC Radio and Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel. God bless America.
I'm attorney Jenna D'Agostino, continuing the legacy my father, John D'Agostino, started 35 years ago.
I grew up on these New York and New Jersey streets. They shaped me. I'm attorney John D'Agostino from D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm.
Call our team first.
888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
Oi! This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC.
Just like the white winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the white winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing.
Stevie Nicks, oh, God, that I love her. I still love her. Stevie Nicks, 8:34 on your Friday morning. Donald Trump is not the only person running and hopefully winning. He will win. Coming up on November the 5th, there's a lot of local races that my heart is also in. As badly as I want my friend Trump to win, that's how badly I want Anthony D'Esposito to win. That's how badly I want Mike Lawler to win. And all of them, Maliotakis, Molinaro, all my friends. But Anthony, of course, is special to me, former cop and now a great congressman out on Long Island. He had a debate against this Gillen lady a couple of days ago. He kicked her ass. But here he is, Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. Anthony, good Friday morning, buddy. How are you?
Sid, good morning, my man. Yeah, and we will win. Not only will President Trump be successful, but all of us running in these tough races in what was once looked at as deep blue New York, and I think that we've changed that. Myself, Lawler, Molinaro, Williams, Lilota, guys that took districts that were in Democratic hands for decades and flipped them to a bright shade of red. It's the feeling out there. People are sick and tired of the far left progressives, of the Democrats of New York State continuing to overreach. And I think one of the things that is really most important to point out is not only do they overreach, they never realize that when they've gone too far that they should change direction. I mean, the fact that you have Democrats in New York that continue to double down on things like cashless bail and criminal justice reform, that's what's costing them these elections. I mean, you take a district like mine, there's 70,000 more Democrats than Republicans, and I don't win just because conservative Republicans are supporting me. I win because independents and Democrats are sick and tired of their party and know that they could trust me to represent them the right way.
I think the country kind of feels the same way. I mean, one thing you do, Anthony, is even in your TV ads, on your Instagram page, you talk about you and Trump, because, again, you're in a very blue district and both of you guys win. And I think the country is starting to feel that way, too. That's why I think President Trump is going to win, because we know, much like your district, there are more Democrats than Republicans in the country. But there are Democrats who want the same thing we want, which is make sure that kids come home safe from school every day and have their money collecting interest in the bank. So you and Trump in very similar situations in your district, and Trump in this country.
Absolutely. And I think that what it's about is people want, like you said, they want their kids to be kept safe. They want their kids to be able to run outside and play ball in the street without getting clipped by a bullet flying by. They want to make sure that when they send their kids to school, they're not being indoctrinated. They want to make sure that, girls are playing girl sports and boys are playing boy sports. And for many of us, they want the border secured. And for many of us, it seems like common sense. But that's the problem, is that even though Democrats are trying to tell the American people, I mean, my opponent, Kamala Harris, they're trying to say that they're one of us. They're not one of us. They're radical. They're liberal. I mean, and my opponent, for instance, is her newest commercial. She wants to secure the border. 2 years ago, we stood on a debate stage and she called me a fearmonger for saying that we had issues at the southern border. And now all of a sudden she wants to secure the border. I mean, how could anybody think to give power to someone who is supporting Kamala Harris for president, who was the architect of the disaster at the southern border, for Kamala Harris, who literally over the last 3.5 years rode shotgun in the clown car that Joe Biden drove off the cliff.
Yeah, that's funny. So, you talk about this commercial, the newest one about the border. How ironic is this? You're talking to me about the clown car. I look to my left. Now, again, don't forget, I've got 6 TVs between the newsroom, you've been here, Anthony, and inside my studio here. Now, the sound's not on. I'm doing a radio show, but I can see. As we're talking, what's running on New York 1? Her commercial, Laura Gillen, not about the border, but she talks about you banning abortion. They claim Trump wants to ban abortion. He has said 1,000 times he has no interest on an abortion ban. Zero. He's leaving it up to the states. I'm not sure what you said, but banning abortion, how you want to prosecute doctors and nurses, and how dangerous you are to women. That's the commercial I literally saw from Laura Gillen 2 minutes ago. Any truth to any of that?
It's insane, and I've been going to groups, especially women, and talking to them about this. I don't support a nationwide abortion ban, and more importantly, unlike Laura Gillen, who's all talk and no action. Why? Because she's already been rejected by the voters 3 times. But I've voted to support women's rights. You talk about IVF legislation. Me and Mike Lawler have led in the House of Representatives supporting IVF legislation and making sure that women had access to that. New York Republicans are the ones who kept the agriculture appropriations bill off the floor. Why? Because it restricted women's access to mifepristone. I mean, I have been a champion for women, not just in Congress, but my time as a NYPD detective, hunting down those who violated women and put them behind bars. I mean, Laura is lying and gaslighting everybody. And I mean, the ad that she talks about with criminalizing doctors, I'm going to break this down very quickly. The legislation simply said this: if you are a doctor and you're performing an abortion and you do not perform that abortion correctly and the baby is born living, the doctor has to do everything in their power to keep that baby alive. It seems pretty common sense to me.
Yeah.
It seems to me that if a baby is born, then a doctor, first of all, we shouldn't have to pass legislation to say that a doctor should have to keep a baby alive when they're born alive. So it just says that either Laura Gillen is not reading the legislation, she just continues to lie, or 3, which I think we all agree, she's that extreme. She's extreme to the fact that she's okay with a baby being born and then not being cared for and to die.
Jesus. I had Mike Lawler on a couple of days ago, and we reached out to you too, Anthony, and you helped Danielle out too. I know you did. And eventually Mike Lawler and Josh Geinheimer put together this bipartisan legislation where we're going to start to, give people diagnosed with dyspraxia, which Gabriel has, medical insurance, make more people aware of it. It's really a very, very big deal. Danielle and I were crying just a couple nights ago. And even though, again, Lawler and Geinheimer did it, you were involved as well. But I was talking to Lawler a couple of days ago, and he was actually taping the first of his 3 debates against his competitor up in Rockland County, Mondaire Jones. And the rumor on the street is that even though Lawler stands for everything right and Jones is a psycho, in your case, you stand for everything right and Gillen's a liar, that both of your races are actually very close. I can't imagine that's the case, but is that true? Are you and Lawler both in very tight races?
Listen, I am very confident that both me and Mike Lawler will be extremely successful on election night. I think that we're both hard workers. We know the issues and we know how to deliver results. But listen, it comes down to registration. You know, like I said before, in my district where there's 70,000 more Democrats, and his district, he's outnumbered by a substantial amount as well. Listen, we're going to win, but we need to work as hard as we possibly can. We need to continue to raise money and put our stuff in the mail and on TV. And obviously, I know I've said this to you before, both offline and on the radio, but you should be thanked too, because you are a huge integral part of getting our message out, and you don't have to do it. And you do it because you believe and you love this country, and you're a good friend. So on behalf of all of us that are running, we appreciate you more than you know.
I appreciate that. Well, you guys, I mean, you're my friends. You're good people. I mean, you're politicians, and you're great politicians. I think you're amazing for Nassau County and Long Island. I think Mike Lawler is amazing for Rockland County. But I know you guys. You're good people. Danielle and I love you. My kids love you. So we want you to win A, for New York, and B, because selfishly I do care. So at the end of the day, Anthony D'Esposito, but folks, you'll come on quite a bit before the 5th. But for folks who want to help you out today, donate some money, what's the best way to do it?
Best way is to go online, D'Esposito4Congress.com, D'Esposito4Congress.com. It is super important. All of us in these tough races, we need money, even if it's 10, 20, $50. What it comes down to is the Democrats nationally are funding these races in New York. By the way, big money. I am hearing some of these Democrats in New York, the dollar figure is kind of like when Kamala first was announced she was running for president, raised about $500 million in a week. I'm hearing the same things about Democrats in New York. It's absolutely insane. I mean, my opponent took a $40,000 paycheck from George Soros just to run for Congress.
Wow.
But I mean, they are raising substantial money, but let's be real. None of the money is coming from New York. In the last cycle, I raised the money that I raised, 50% of it came from Long Island. My opponent, 2.9%. So it shows you that the people who are sending out these lies and the deceit and the deception and the gaslighting, they don't even live here. They don't care about Long Island. They don't care about New York. These are power-hungry individuals who just want to see a radical like Hakeem Jeffries be in the speaker's chair, and we're not going to let it happen.
Anthony, great job as always. I said, like I just said moments ago, we'll do this once, maybe twice a week leading up to Election Day. You're a great guy. You're a great politician. I love you. So have yourself a great weekend, and we'll talk again and see each other very, very soon. Thank you.
You too, brother. Love to the family and good Shabbos.
You too. There he is, the great congressman out of Long Island, my friend Anthony D'Esposito.
Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are very Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better in New York or New Jersey. Go to EdenMemorial.com.